The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. And now it's time for the Mr. Nailsin Show. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Sometimes murder cases take a long time to figure out. Well, in this particular story, it took 20 years. Some people found a naked dead woman in a shallow grave. And now, 20 years later, someone says they did it. All right. So, hikers found a woman nude near shallow grave. Oh. See, the way that's written is as if there was just some naked woman sitting near a shallow grave, you know, and they found somebody dead in that. And she's like, I was just sitting here being naked. Anyway, 20 years later, a man pled guilty to her killing. Oh, boy, what was your first clue in this mugshot, huh? Yeah, face tattoos. Well, a longtime suspect has come forward regarding a 2006 homicide in Boulder County, Colorado. John Angerer, and boy, does he look angry, 57, pled guilty on July 28, 2026 to criminally negligent homicide. See, it was an accident. In the case of a woman who was killed and discovered in the South St. Vrain Canyon by two hikers decades ago. Well, 2 decades ago, to be precise. The body was found close to what happened to be a shallow grave, apparently dragged free by a predator in June 2006. It was initially unidentifiable due to heavy decomposition and was completely nude, except for a ring on its left hand. It wasn't until November of that year that DNA analysis allowed the body to be identified as Angela Wilds, who would have been approximately 38 years old at the time of her death. Investigators connected Angerer to the crime scene 3 years later. According to the Longmont Times-Call, a related affidavit stated that DNA reports showed evidence that Angerer participated in sexual activity with Wilds, despite denying he knew her. No, you knew her. Biblically. He was initially arrested under suspicion of second-degree murder in 2010, but the case was dismissed that same year because the judge determined the charge was not supported by probable cause. Have you seen the tattoos on his face? I mean, come on. It has undergone reinvestigation through 2 trials in the years since due to the presentation of new evidence. The retrials resulted in a hung jury and a deadlock, respectively. That investigation has included identifying new witnesses, re-interviewing individuals previously known to law enforcement, consulting with forensic pathologists, and submitting further items to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation for testing and DNA analysis, said the district attorney's office on its decision to reopen the case for the 3rd and final time. Amid the renewed cases, Angerer was extradited from his home in Alaska in both 2010 and 2023. He has a lengthy criminal history in Colorado and Alaska, including counts of disorderly conduct, resisting or obstructing a police officer, burglary, driving under the influence, trespassing, arson, assault, and menacing. Yeah. With the prospect of a 3rd trial on the horizon, Angerer came forward to accept a guilty plea. He just had enough of this case. For 1 count of criminally negligent homicide, a count of second-degree murder was dropped by the district attorney's office as a part of the agreement. Angerer was subsequently sentenced to 3 years in prison with credit for time served, as well as 2 years of mandatory parole. Oh, this is absolute garbage. See, odds are the sexual conduct was the motive for the murder. Because, you know, she wasn't into it. Angerer was subsequently sentenced to I read all that. However, the Daily Camera reported that he was granted 1,375 days of credit for time previously served in custody between his two mistrials, meaning his 3-year sentence has been exceeded and he will not spend any more time behind bars upon release. Well, no wonder he said, all right, I give up. Yeah, it was me. What are you going to do about it? Well, we're going to, credit you with time served. For 20 years, Wild's family has carried the painful weight of not knowing whether justice would ever be done. It won't. District Attorney Michael Doherty said in a statement, today's plea doesn't erase their loss, but it does represent a measure of accountability, not really, and a meaningful step toward honoring Angela's life. No, it doesn't. This is disgusting. This tatted-faced piece of shit just beat the system. Oh, God. I mean, that's all that's available for murder? Manslaughter is akin to an accident. You were stupid. This is criminally negligent and all this stuff. And it's like, no, it wasn't. Holy crap. I mean, just admit it. You're even more tired of the case than he is. He said, all right, look, we just want you to admit it and we'll just let you go. He said, all right. Yeah, I did it. The end. Now he's 57 now. He's still a serious threat. And you let him go. So, gee, let's hope he got that murder streak out of his system, One can only hope. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Oh, boy.
What's the matter, Sally?
I guess the beer just doesn't give me the buzz it used to.
You need a butt chug.
A butt chug? I'm not pouring beer in my ass.
Not beer. Cough syrup. Here, let me flip you over.
What? Oh, oh, my. Oh.
Let's move these panties aside. And we'll insert this tube. Here comes the cough syrup, Sally.
Wow. The walls are melting. I see flowers taking flight and turning into stars.
Can't get a buzz? Then you need a butt chug. Warning, butt chugging may lead to brain damage, rectal rot, and or farts that smell menacing. Next time on My Brother's Keeper.
I'm going to bed, Home.
All right, I'll be right there with you. I'll be shutting things down. I'll be right there. What in the hell's going on? God damn.
Oh, my God. There, it was gotcha.
Yeah, I know. God damn, what the... Daryl, that you? What's going on, Daryl?
Yeah, I got it.
You got what?
The ghost, doing something.
What?
I got him.
Oh, God, what did you do?
Now, I was watching that, horror movie marathon, and, when I went to bed, of course, them movies, they get me all psyched up and stuff, and so every little noise, it scares me. And when I saw them glowing eyes, and I felt something touching my toe on the bed, I lost it, of course, I went straight for the gun.
God damn it, Daryl. Did you shoot a hole in my floor?
Well, that's where it went under the bed.
Oh, my God. Mittens. Huh? I raised Mittens since he was a kitten.
Damn it. Daryl should have known better. What else could it have been? There was Mittens all over the floor under Daryl's bed. Oh, God.
Yeah, once again, Daryl proves himself to be an idiot.
But on the other hand, I never did approve of having mittens in the house. Animals belong outside. And if I'd been listened to, Mittens probably be alive today. But what do I know? I just earn all the money that pays the bills to keep this home a-going. But, gee, why should I have a say in any of that?
Deal with you right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really hate it when they fight, and sometimes it makes me feel like, somehow, this is all my fault.
That's next time on My Brother's Keeper. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Well, there was some bitch that would meet lonely men on dating apps, and then she would drug them and rob them. Now the FBI wants other victims to come forward and help with the case. And there's more, but probably just don't want to admit it, But anyway, the FBI is, they're trying. They're going to try. So, yes, Aurora Phelps is charged with drugging and kidnapping men she met on dating apps. Now, the FBI wants help finding more victims. Robert Urbach was a 67-year-old retiree living in Guadalajara, Mexico, when he met Aurora Phelps on a dating app. The two met for a date at the Hard Rock Cafe in, Guadalajara on December 11th, 2021. 2 days later, Urbach's remains were discovered dumped along a roadside outside the Mexican city. After Urbach's disappearance, the mother of three drove his BMW to her home in Las Vegas, where she tried to make herself the beneficiary of his retirement account and transferred funds to set up a second bank account in his name. Prosecutors wrote in a superseding indictment filed in Nevada. Federal authorities said Phelps, whose alleged crimes and eventual capture is featured on Law and Crime's Prime Crime with Jesse Weber. Okay, we get the ad. Use dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble to target older men and then drug them and steal from them, including access to bank, Social Security, and retirement accounts. You bitch. This is a romance scam on steroids, said Spencer Evans, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas office. It's folks that are out looking for love that ran into something far more sinister. One of the elderly men, who dated Phelps, 44, for months before meeting her at his home on November 1st, 2021, according to the... What? This isn't written well. One of the elderly men. Okay, once at his home, Phelps, who also went by the name Aurora Velasco, Aurora Flores, and Alora Alvarez, allegedly ordered lunch for the two and then caused her date to consume a prescription drug without his knowledge and consent, leaving him mostly unconscious for the next 5 or so days. The victim soon discovered that the $3.3 million of Apple stock he owned had been sold, and an attempt had been made to remove the cash from his online account. Another victim, whom she met online in November 2022, was allegedly drugged before he was taken across the U.S.-Mexico border in a wheelchair. He was later found dead in a hotel room in Mexico City. Phelps was arrested by Mexican authorities, and in June, the dual U.S.-Mexico citizen was sentenced to 37 years in prison in connection with the disappearance of Urbach. She is expected to be extradited back to the United States to face fraud, identity theft, and kidnapping charges in Nevada. Her husband, there's a husband, William Phelps, told the Los Angeles Times that he was shocked by the news that his wife, who he said he met 14 years ago when she was a server at IHOP, could be involved in multiple deaths. If she did do it, Damn, she put one over on me, he said. The episode includes extensive interviews with the FBI agents leading the case and the victims' families, as well as analysis from veteran investigative journalist Chris Hansen. The FBI is seeking the public's help in identifying more potential victims and witnesses. Wow. There's Chris Hansen. Look at that. So here she is. Did you ever go on a date with this woman and found yourself, passed out for a week, maybe laying on the side of the road with all your money gone? Well, if that's the case, the FBI wants to talk to you. And, you should too. Yeah? Look, I know it's embarrassing to get caught in one of these snares because, you were looking for some. Hey, I get it, But this bitch needs to pay, and she's already going to pay. They got her on one guy, and there was that other one. So they're bound to find some evidence on that, too. But boy, does she know how to seek out the marks, Because she married one already. They don't say the husband's age, but I bet he's significantly older than her. Odds are. Met her at the IHOP. And then whatever he's bringing in, she's like, I want a little more than that. But I guess the good news for him is it sounds like she didn't really cheat on him. Because these guys were all drugged and doped up, so there was no sex involved. And especially when they died, there was no sex. So he can take some consolation in that at least his wife was, loyal to her marriage vows. Yeah, I guess there's that.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. And now it's time for the adventures of Baron Boy.
Holy crap. They took my pants off so they could put the alien probe in me?
Well, I did. Did you hear that?
Yeah. And I don't know what it is, but I don't like the sound of it.
Oh my God, Cliff! Through the vents! It's gas!
There we have it, Biddy. Probe has already located my signal booster, which is already starting to succumb to the harsh environment of Venus. So I'll have to make another one later on. But nevertheless, it is catching up on a particular ion signature of these alien crafts. Those
the giant silver eggs, Papa?
Yes, that's right. Those giant silver eggs. And it's pretty... Oh, good Lord, yes, there is a construct. It's homing in on it. Yes. Now we will need to conduct a full scan there and hope it's not detected. But if it is, well, that's what the second drone will be for. And I will fire it off shortly should that prove necessary. Let's see here.
But Papa, that facility is almost the size of a city. How could we possibly find Lola and Cliff?
Well, fortunately, Biddy, the Pan Man, has made an extensive recording, providing me with a lot of data of Lola and Cliff's biorhythms. So I should be able to lock on to that signal, and there shouldn't be any confusion because, well, I seriously doubt that these interlopers would match up with their, well, human signatures.
But Papa, we don't know this. These could very well be human beings on some sort of, I don't know, advanced exploratory campaign on the planet Venus.
Yes, but it is very likely that they are some form of humanity from some other era, I assume. for the technology that they have, the years it would take to develop something like that, to able to construct, as you called it, a city on the planet Venus. I mean, somehow they've managed to withstand its horrific environment. This is a species of humanity that's far different from our own, and therefore, certainly there would be very, very different biosignatures from them. With our two companions. Oh, there it is. There, we've locked onto it. You see, everything will work out.
Oh, Papa, it appears they are together in the same cell. How fortunate.
Yes, but according to the bio readings, they're into some form of distress. They're clutching at their throats.
Oh, no, Papa. What is wrong with them?
I'm not sure for certain, Biddy, but it appears they're being gassed.
Oh, no.
Quickly, Biddy, we've got to get to the teleporter buddy and suit up into our protective suits.
Oh, Papa, there's no time for the suits.
Now we'll have to make time, Biddy. They're being gassed. What good would we be if we're overcome by the same poison they're suffering from?
Oh, all right, Papa.
So now, very quickly, Biddy, you suit up and meet me at the teleporter.
Oh, but Papa, why aren't you coming with me?
I'm going to pay a little visit to the armory to make sure we have a fully charged electro gun, Biddy. Because no doubt we're going to encounter a very nasty sort of folk.
Oh, no.
Lola! Lola, you all right, Lola?
Yeah, I'm okay. This really stinks more than anything else. Cliff, what's wrong?
Lola, I don't know. It's just, God, this pain in my groin.
Your groin, it... Oh, my God, Cliff. Your balls.
My what? My balls? What are you... Holy shit, what the hell just happened?
Your balls, they've swollen to the size of cantaloupes.
Oh, my God. That must have been what the gas did. That's where they took my pants off. They just...
Right.
I don't know now. The probe's not sounding so bad.
Balls.
Lola, what are you doing?
Balls.
What are you doing now, Lola? Get off! Damn it, Lola! What the hell's gotten into you?
Papa, why is Lola taking cake?
I don't know, Biddy. It must have something to do with the effects of the gas. Good Lord. Russ, size of your gooner.
Oh, my goodness. Cliff has no pants.
Yeah, no, it's all really embarrassing. Oh, get her off me. Lola's biting my balls.
Ew, Lola, no. Don't do that. That is nasty.
Get out of the way, Biddy.
Oh, no. Papa, you shot Lola.
Well, I didn't have a choice, Biddy, but never fear. She's merely stunned.
Oh, no. What's that sound?
An alarm of some sort, no doubt. Quickly, let's get them into the teleporter buddy.
Oh, goodness. Papa, Lola's heavier than she looks.
Now put your back into it, Biddy. We don't have much time. Come on, Cliff. Yeah, Baron. It's hard to walk because, well, you know. Yes. It's all very awkward, but let's not assess that at the moment. Let's just get into the teleporter buddy.
The prisoners have escaped. Yes, but did you see the effective nature of the weapon? Well, it did, but the craft that they escaped in, the technology for something like that is far advanced than what we expected. All the more reason to immediately launch our invasion plans. But is that wise? We don't know where we're running into. Our intelligence might be off here. No, the time must be to strike. We wait any longer, then they could respond to us now that they know what we're up to. We have no choice. We must take the Earth immediately.
You have been listening to Baron Boy. Written, produced, and performed by me, Douglas Nailsin. Music comes courtesy of Kevin MacLeod and other public domain sources. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Well, I'm sure you've heard of drunk driving. Well, there's also drunk boating, and the consequences can at times be just as deadly. Woman decapitated after intoxicated boater, 45, allegedly drives 80 miles per hour on river, catapults over another vessel. The suspect's blood alcohol level reportedly measured nearly 3 times the state's legal limit. A woman was decapitated after an intoxicated boater allegedly drove. Yeah, we've read all that. Richard Stevenson, 45, is facing numerous charges, including aggravated DUI and reckless homicide, in connection with the boating accident on the Fox River near McHenry. Stevenson has a history of driving while under the influence. According to court records, and ABC News said, a judge on Monday ordered Stevenson held without release, indicating that his pretrial release poses a real and present threat to the community's safety. Yeah, he's a hopeless drunk and an idiot. The defendant, while intoxicated, drove his vessel at about 80 miles per hour in a no-wake zone. Even when warned by a passenger, the defendant continued to operate in that manner. The vessel went over the top of another vessel and crashed, according to Judge Cynthia Lamb alleged in the court documents, citing evidence presented by prosecutors. When the defendant's boat was on top of the victim's boat, it decapitated one of the passengers of that boat. Holy crap. A witness told responding officers that Stevens' boat was at full throttle as it entered in a no-wake. It collided with Vessel 2, resulting in the decapitation of a female passenger on the second watercraft. Court documents indicate that the boat Stevenson allegedly was operating overtook another vessel before he crashed into the timber on the west bank of the river. Stevenson remained at the scene and was soon taken to a hospital. Well, at least it wasn't hit and run, I guess. A medical draw showed Stevenson had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.2. According to court records, the legal limit in Illinois is 0.08. Stevenson allegedly told a witness after the accident that he was operating the vessel and that he had been drinking. Well, all right, then he's fessed up, you know. Stevenson also has a criminal history, you don't say, including 4 misdemeanor speeding charges, most recently in 3 reckless driving charges, 1 with supervision, and 2 with convictions. He also has 2 convictions for driving while under the influence. Yeah. But this time he was boating, so I guess he figured, hey, that don't count. Yeah. But it does. So, well, this is really horrible. Oh, I'm back in here again. Yeah, you are, Stevenson. You are. I guess that's the thing. He thought, well, I'm not behind the wheel of a vehicle. What's the worst that could happen? And the worst that could happen happened. Don't drink and boat. Yeah.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Doug, some things are like the air. You can't see it, but you know it's there.
The views and opinions expressed during the Mr. Nailsin Show do not necessarily reflect those held by RadioMisfits.com. So, any complaints and or comments should be sent to @Mr. Nailsin on Twitter, where they will be promptly ignored and or blocked.